Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Hidden London Hangouts. My name's Alex. It's really nice to be back in Portugal again. And my lovely team is surrounding me on Zoom, if nothing else. I wish they were here now, but they're not. They're on Zoom. First of all, Chris Nix is here. Hello, Chris.
Hi, Alex. We wish we were there as well. Be a very civilized way to do an episode out on the beach.
Plenty of room. I've only got the one shirt out here, as you can probably tell. Also, Sue Holloway from the London Transport Museum is here as well. Hello, darling.
Hello.
Good. And
Sorry.
and Laura Hilton Brown. And Laura, she's read the script again. It's a really short link. And also Laura Hilton Brown is here from the museum. Hello, my lovely.
Hello. Is the sun shining in Portugal, Alex? That's the main question.
I thought you were just going to say hello again. Just hello.
I should have done. Hi.
Hi. The sun is shining here. Everything is marvellous. And today, part 3 of Knightsbridge. Now, we promised you when we did parts 1 and 2 that other stuff was going to be happening in that station. And sure enough, the amazing crew there have kept the team in the loop. And we were told to come back and see what's going on. Now, Sid, Laura and me couldn't make it, but Chris could. So Chris went down with his roving cameras to find out what's been going on. The tiles are being taken off the new old passageways, and they're up for sale. They're actually coming to the museum, so you can buy them. But in the meantime, they're being removed from the walls. And Chris had to be there to just keep his little beady eye on a couple of little very special tiles, didn't you, Chris?
Yeah, indeed. If you remember, if you went back and watched the Knightsbridge episodes 1 and 2, there's the title, then you'll have seen our wonderful friend Mick, who opened the doors, showed us around, let us see the new building site, and also let us look at the horseshoe, which was the original platform, the original tunnels rather, and lift shafts to the station. And we parked it at the point where they were just getting ready to start stripping the tiles off. And we'd identified 2 very important ones, the maker's tiles.
I love that. They call it the horseshoe, by the way, because effectively it is like a horseshoe and it envelops the lift shafts, which are about there, and the horseshoe goes around it. The idea being you get out of the lift one side and go to the platforms, and you get into the lift the other side. Never the twain need meet, no confusion, no crossover, no nothing. It's amazing. Anyway, Chris went down there to have a look at what's been going on. 1 Nix, 2 Mix.
So since we were last here, you've been doing a lot of work, I can see that.
Yep.
There's still a haze in the air from the activity. So what have you changed?
Right, well, we've stripped 80% of the walls now in 10 days. We're on programme to finish next Friday. The guys are obviously working very hard, so we're staggering the meal breaks. What's been the biggest challenge, Mick?
Biggest challenge was certainly so far getting the tiles off the wall, because they've been on there for a long time, obviously, and they were very well stuck on. So without a doubt, that's been the biggest challenge today, is getting the tiles off the wall.
I think you've done an incredible job, because they are literally designed to split in half rather than come off the wall.
You can see here, for instance, where we've tried to get them off, it's just not possible. Yeah. So the ones we have got off have mostly been saved.
It is incredible that you've saved that many, I have to say. It's a good job, well done. And so what's the next step with this? Does this get dressed before the new tiles
so what happens now is the tiles should be off for Friday, which is 2 days' time. Spend a day taking off the high-level ones, and you'll get replaced as well.
Yeah.
And then the walls get rendered. If you look down here, you can see you can't tile on that surface. Yeah. Render the walls, get a smooth finish, and then there's a fire retardant render going on the top here.
Right. Okay. Yeah. And that's to protect the tunnel lining rings.
And also, there's lead paint there. It's very small lead quantities of lead paint, and we need to protect from the public when it opens again.
That's right. I just noticed this. I just love it. It just shows you why it's so hard to get these tiles off. They'll split along their length rather than let go. Yeah. It's remarkable.
So if you come back in another couple of weeks, the place will be rendered. Yeah, and then we're going to start removing all the CMS and all the services, get some temporary lights in here.
Great. Well, I think we'll have to come back and see it when it's all kind of done and shiny and new, and just before it opens then, if that's all right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you. Very well done. Well done to you and all of the crew here. I think you're doing an amazing job.
Do you know what? A beautiful bit of video, Chris, but obviously we did apologise that it's a little bit out of focus. And it's also so dusty down there, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks like the amount of airborne dust down there was playing havoc with the focus system on the camera. So I'm sorry that's not as anywhere near as sharp as it should be, but important to capture the moment anyway.
It was beautiful. And it's so nice to see, Sids, that this stuff is being removed so carefully and is actually going to be able to make money for the museum. Because, you know, we know from the fans who watch this, you want to lap up this stuff. You want to buy bits and bobs of Tube memorabilia. And Sids, this is a great way of doing it, isn't it?
It is. I mean, it's, do you know what? It's funny because I was delivering a couple of talks the other day at the Depot Open Weekend, and somebody actually who was at one of my talks asked, do you have any tiles that we could buy that are from stations? And I was like, just you wait for a few more weeks and there will be some, because it's a great little memorabilia. I mean, I want one. I want to have one of those in my house. It's incredible. So it's really, you know, you're getting to own a piece of history that, you know, you can't replicate. It's not like you can just buy it anywhere. There are only a limited amount of those tiles that, you know, are in existence. So it's really cool.
And it helps the big projects that the museum's doing in restoration of like the Q stock district line trains and all those kind of things that they all take money to do. This is a great way that you can take stuff, have it as your own, and also give some money to make the projects happen, so which is fantastic. Now, of course, you're interested to know what happened when they tried to actually prize and jemmy these things off the wall. Well, obviously, Chris was there with his roving camera and he captured the moment beautifully.
So yeah, we started taking them ones off. You can see they made lots of progress around the side.
Changed a bit since last time, hasn't
it? An awful lot.
An amazing job.
Yeah.
So you're going to carry on stripping tiles up here,
Yeah, just to here. This is the new public area, and then we've got to do the soffit as well.
It's quite a invasive job, isn't it? You can see where the chisels have been cutting in, and this is one that you've managed to get off successfully.
Yeah, that's one of the earlier ones and all. They haven't all come off like this. A lot of them have broke because the render's been stuck to them so long. But we have managed to keep a few for your shop.
Can we have a look?
In fact, they're down here. Let's go and have a look.
Brilliant. Thank you. God, look at this. It was all,
Nice, you need to get out of the way of the camera.
you know, all beautifully. Look, there's a tiny bit still hanging on there.
Yeah, you can see though where bits
point
of them have come on. We haven't got them all off intact, so they've.
You can see where that one's put up a fight, and there's a tiny bit of tile left in the keystone.
Yeah, but this is the tunnel ring here, so that render's all getting replaced.
Yeah, that tunnel ring hasn't seen the light of day since about 1907.
It's about that long. Is it that long? Yeah.
Yeah, well, I suppose light of artificial light,
Yeah,
anyway.
it does look a lot brighter in here without the tiles off.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose you've got those kind of darker blues
Yeah.
and greens, haven't you?
Yeah. So if we come down here, so this is the lift entrance where we were last time.
How long has this taken to clear all this off?
Started last Monday, so 10 days.
Wow, we've done all that in 10 days. Hard workers.
Here is our collection.
Fantastic. So, we've always been told it is an incredibly difficult job to get the tiles off the wall without them kind of doing that.
Yes.
And so it appears to be. I think you've done an amazing job, mate. Your guys have done a great job to get these off intact. So, we've got the green, this slightly off-white.
Yeah, that's the central sections.
Beautiful. And of course, the turquoise.
Yes.
And
so these are being collected next week and taken to the museum.
Brilliant.
I believe they're going to the shop.
They will, yeah. So we've already checked and we have some in the collection.
Right.
So these ones will be available for sale as vintage originals, and these are the top ones that would have sat just there.
That's right, yeah.
With the beveled edge.
Yep.
Brilliant. Well done. That's a magnificent job you've done.
There's
there.
a few more to come yet, just as we finish off around the other side.
Well, thank you very much to your team for taking such care.
So we've saved the maker's tile now, and Nigel's going to take it off for you guys. You can take them away with you today.
No pressure.
Without breaking it.
Okay, let's go and do it.
Yep.
Okay, so you probably remember this from our Knightsbridge original episodes on the Hangouts. But we've got the maker's tile preserved around here, the Simpsons and more maker's tile. Now, just to get the racing driver excuses in, if you remember, this tile did have a slight hairline crack in it, so it may not come off in one piece even with the most care. But here we go.
Hang on.
I feel I have to have a photo of this moment myself, being a total tourist. Delicate job.
That's it.
I haven't been this nervous in some time.
Go on. Give it a good yank. That's it. Go on.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. You'll keep that one to the side. There's another one for the shop.
That's it.
So it's the one behind the black tape is the one we're trying to preserve. Oh my word.
There we go.
And there it is. Look at that. Thank
Well
you
done,
so
Nigel.
much. Well done.
There's another one behind us.
So here's the patient. Look at that. Very well done. Very well done indeed.
Nice. You want to get that
I'm
one
gonna
off for them as well?
pop that down.
While you're on a roll.
Yeah, let's see if we can do the second one. Now, if I remember correctly, this is the one that had the bigger crack in it. So
Go on, far away.
you've done well. Let's see if we can do 2 for 2. We're going to cross, come over here.
Do you want to do you want me to hold it? Go on, just take that one.
Very well done. I'll just rescue that out of there. There's another one. I think those two might... Oh no, that one's not coming. It's a tricky job. Some of the others have to give their lives so that that one can be saved. Ooh. Oh, did it make it? I have my doubts. Oh my word, it did. Let me give that out to one side. Do you know, I'm almost tempted to say, how about we save that and carefully transport it with the other tiles?
It look better.
We could circular saw that out.
Or you could leave it on there and keep it as a feature.
Yeah,
That might be better.
yeah.
So Nigel, can we put that down the end? Do you want to hammer it or?
Give it a go if you can. Shall I hold it for you? Okay, got it.
Do you want a hand? Put it down here. I know you know spring chicken. Can you manage it, yeah?
And there we go. Well done. That's conservation
Well done,
work as
Nigel.
well as
Well
building
done.
work. Very good. Well, thank you very much, Mick. It's absolutely superb. Do you think you'd be able to relay that one? Or
No, we've asked. They're different tiles than the one, slightly
Right,
different.
okay,
We've
so
shown
they
the
won't
pattern out,
match.
yeah.
So there we go, mission accomplished. I have to say I'm very surprised you managed to save both, but there we go. 2 Makers tiles saved from the original Knightsbridge tunnels. Very well done, sir, and thank you very much for all your efforts.
Thank you.
I love a great story ending. Sids and Chris and me, we saw those tiles and thought that'd be so cool to keep them, wouldn't it? They managed to do it. It's so nice. And Mick and the crew, they're so thoughtful about this kind of stuff, aren't they, down at Knightsbridge?
Amazing that they managed it. Honestly, I've made peace with the fact that if they'd even got one off the wall intact, then we'd have done well. And I imagine that they would be coming off in pieces and would be sticking them back together. When you see the damage on the other tiles, you know, the less than 0.5% of the tiles, I would say, have come off the wall intact down there because they're so hard to get off.
It's absolutely wonderful. You've got some things to show us. It's a proper show and tell. It's like
Laura, I thought you might like to see this one.
Look at that colour.
How big a beauty is that? This is
I
one
mean,
of
it's
the...
just utterly gorgeous. I'd have just gorgeous.
It's one of the top course tiles because you see it's got the bevel on it.
Yeah.
They're really, really sweet. The camera's not really doing it justice.
I think the colour's coming across really nicely. It's very shiny as well.
You know, it actually kind of matches my painting there behind.
It does, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, very good point. The back of it, you can see why this one came off cleanly, because it came off ringing the two keystone holes have just taken the whole chunk of cement grout off with it.
I love my I love my scalable questions. Chris, on a scale of 1 to 10, how nervous were you when they were taking them off the wall?
Well, I think you probably see it in the foot. I was like a proper heart in the mouth, especially the second one, because that was a lot harder to get off when the whole kind of wall of tiles just came forward. Mick was kind of having to stop the bottom one with his shin. It was all for a moment. I just thought it's a goner. It's done. So when it turned over and it was still intact, it was I'm glad I called it though, because I think if they tried carrying on getting it out there with those tools,
what a lovely moment to have been part of though.
I think it's also I was just going to say, I think it's delightful that the Tube actually thinks of us when they're doing projects like this and says, go on, get your cameras here, go on, have a little look at this, it's going to be great. I just think we're part of something really magical on the London Underground at the moment.
We are, and here we go. This is it.
Oh, wow.
So it's amazing this thing survives. There aren't
look his little face.
Huge number of them. It's great. I stress I'm not keeping this. This is on its way to the depot. I just needed to get it off the site.
Oh my goodness, can I touch it?
This could be fun on Zoom.
You can see there's quite a bit of work to be done to clear the cement off the back of it. We might actually leave it to strengthen it. And this one's the one that had the chipping in the tops. This was the first one that came off, but it's just great. It's it really made my day seeing that. And I do have one other thing to show you.
Chris, before you do that, could you just show us again and talk us through what that tile represents for anyone who's not been watching the episodes and they're new to it today? So it's got words on it. What does it mean?
So on the Leslie Green stations, the Leslie Green architect design stations, there were tiles fitted that were a unique colour pattern to each station. There were two firms that made and supplied the tiles. One was Simpsons and Son, working with Moores there, and the other one was a company called Williscroft, and it so happens that Knightsbridge was one of the ones that was fitted by Simpsons and Moores. And there are 3 different designs of Makers tiles that we're aware of. There's this one, there's Williscroft, and then there's this one but without the Moores, which we saw at Brompton Road. I guess there's a 4th one as well. We've also got the glass Makers tile in our collection, which we think is unique.
I absolutely love it. And what else you got to show us, Chris? There's another thing, isn't there?
Well, there was something else which came off the wall, which I wasn't focused on until it fell off the tiles. And then it suddenly occurred to me, this is a new bit of history. And again, heading to the collection. So those...
I know why that's important.
Do you want to explain it, Sids?
Yeah, sure. So because, of course, Knightsbridge got remodeled in the 1930s to fit in escalators, which meant that the lift shafts became a ventilation shaft for the Piccadilly line. And that right there says Piccadilly line VP, and I can't really see what it says, 1018, which means ventilation point.
So it's 101B.
Yeah, and so that means ventilation point 101B. But of course, now that they've fitted lifts in that shaft and actually began using it again, it is no longer a VP, a ventilation point.
That is so cool. So that all goes into the museum collection as well, guys?
That was the thing. I was just packing up. I was putting the tiles together to take out safely, and then I saw that on the floor, and exactly what City just said occurred to me. It's that's a temporary bit of this station's story for quite a large part of its life, which is now no longer the case. So that needs to go in the collection.
I think that is absolutely wonderful. So all's well that ends well with these stories. We arrived, we met Mick in episode 1. We watched the story progress in episode 2 of Knightsbridge, and in episode 3, which we've just done now, we see those tiles coming off the walls, making their way to the museum, to make a bit of money for the museum as well, and the projects that they do. But better still, those tunnels are going to come back into service, tiled like the originals, but with brand new tiles to look fantastic and also serve the passengers of London. I think that is absolutely fantastic. Story well done. Well done, everybody. That was brilliant. Notes, queries and questions, as always, is our chance to answer some of the questions that you've got. Not so much about questions, it's actually about comments. And we did Wood Lane and White City. We were deeply confused by the story because it was really blooming complicated. But you know what? The one thing that everyone has commented on is where the last wooden escalator was. And quite rightly, Chris put it in a little caption on the screen. It's Greenford. So many of you have messaged underneath that episode to say Greenford was where it was. And Chris, it's still there, isn't it, at Greenford?
Yeah, so we've been talking with people on the ground there about a possible future episode there where we go and have a look. I'm up for that because it's not very far away from where I live, so that'd be a very, very comfortable episode for me.
Good stuff. Ian says Oswald Lawrence's Mind the Gap. You know, the Mind the Gap at Embankment Station. He says that the announcement was briefly used on Central Line platforms at Bank in the mid-1980s.
Yeah,
and
I think that's where I first heard it, Alex.
Yeah, and the Bakerloo Line platforms at Waterloo. Thank you very much. Also, people did notice my Mike Flex comment, KYTV, if you ever watched the show on the telly. And of course, with BBC Television Centre being in the episode as well, because it was Wood Lane and White City, everyone was trying to remember the address that you used to send letters to. People used to write into TV shows. And of course, it was W12, BBC Television Centre, Wood Lane, London, W12 8QT. Bearing in mind, if you ever watched TVAM on the television, that breakfast TV show on ITV at the time, that was Hawley Crescent, London, NW1 8TQ. How sad am I? So there we go. Just because I like to know these things, it's all good. Thank you, as always, Laura Hilton-Brown. You were lovely.
Well, thank you, Chris, as well, for going down to do that. That was an amazing little piece of history that you've managed to get involved in again, which is awesome. And I'm loving the fact that people can buy these tiles to integrate them into their home, their garden, whatever kind of, I guess, room or wherever it's going in their lives. Because I've tried to replicate the colour of the tile in my bathroom. I don't have original station tiles, so to have the original, that little piece of museum in your house, is super, super exciting.
Absolutely lovely. City Holloway, thank you so much as well, and for showing us the geography of your VP, your ventilation points.
Yes, my VP. Yes, no, I really enjoyed that, and I'm gutted I couldn't go with you, Chris, because when you were like, I'm off to Knightsbridge, I was like, I've got another meeting. But what a brilliant job. Well done. And thank you, Mick Squared, for letting us have these tiles. So lovely of you guys to want to preserve this with us. So super excited to see them in the flesh.
Can I just say, Mick, you promised me lunch. We still haven't had lunch. We need to meet up because you're a star. Chris Nix as well. Thank you so much for doing this today.
I think we owe Mick a couple of lunches for that,
yeah.
to be honest. So, yeah, it was a great treat to be able to go there and see it done. Appreciate just how hard it is to save these tiles. They really don't want to come off the wall. But I shall definitely be buying some to do a little piece of artwork that I'd like to have on my wall.
Oh, lovely stuff. We maybe could pay Mick in tiles, maybe. So if you want to find out what we're up to, follow us on Instagram. It's Alex Grundon, Chris Nix, City Holloway, Hidden London Law, and at LT Museum. You found us on YouTube. Thank you so much. The numbers are going up. makes us feel very, very loved. So we're very, very grateful, and it helps the museum as well. And it's publicity around the world. So thank you wherever you're watching. Like, subscribe and comment. And also, if there's anything else you want to say, feel free to drop the comments down below. If there's somewhere you'd like us to go next, let us know. And if there's a question you've always had burning about the London Underground, or indeed the transport system in London, drop those messages down there, or indeed on Instagram, and we'll get them answered for you. We're going somewhere amazing next week. In the meantime, have yourself a great day and stay safe.